Testing 1 2. Good afternoon. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Good afternoon. Welcome to Green Gully Reserve Saturday afternoon football, NPL Victoria. Competing with the ground announcer at the moment. Lunchtime kickoff. Almost ready to go here. And we are almost ready to go. The players are about to come out onto the paddock. We'll be with you for the game very shortly. Good afternoon, welcome to Green Gully Reserve NPL Victoria men's action coming your way in this Saturday lunchtime kickoff in round 10 of the competition. Something a little bit different with daytime football returning here for the first time, I think, since 2019. It is changes as good as a holiday perhaps for Green Gully, and they need a change too because they are on a bit of a run of outs, just the 2 wins from their 9 starts this season, no wins in their last 6 outings, contrasting for Port Melbourne, at least last week anyway, with a 3-0 win against Dandenong Thunder when Adam Pittig returned to JL Murphy Reserve. Thanks for your company this afternoon on the NPL Victoria live stream. My name is Steve Curtin and we're looking forward to bringing you all of the action this afternoon alongside Matteo behind the camera, the best in the business for Sportscast Australia. And we're looking forward to this one as the players are out in the field and the teams are in, and we'll get to the team news for you now. And for the hosts, there's no Josh Hope in this match day squad today. He is rested after a very heavy workload over those 9 matches so far this season. Seems like he's been playing about 3 positions. He doesn't wear a GPS tag, I'm told, but his numbers would be very high indeed. So it sees the Cavaliers line up with Liam Driscoll in goal. Matthew Crooks is the right back. Good to see him back in the starting 11 as well. In defence, the captain Taylor Shrivers, Jalil Regay and Dalibor Markovic. Starting at left back in midfield, anchoring the midfield 3, Thierry Iridakunda is joined by Jamie Latham and Gianluca Iannucci, who comes into the starting 11. The front 3 today, Luca Tavir, Ado Kadakpo providing the width, Mo Adam through the middle. Also one change for Nick Marinos' Port Melbourne side. Amon Holm Camus, who was injured early in the first half last week, misses out today, and Makur comes into the defensive line. A lineup that sees Ilya Shalamonkov-Trenkov in goal, the back 3. As I mentioned, Makur is joining Nathan Hancock and Alex Baker. The wing backs are Mark Latsis, who was on the goal scorers sheet last week, along with Daniel Edwards, who is providing some handy assists at the moment in midfield. Charlie Leach and Owen Stokes, Jackson Courtney Perkins and Fraser Dunlop will support Emmanuel Peters in attack. We are underway. Port Melbourne in pretty attractive looking chain strip, black with the sash up the middle, the diagonal sash of the red and blue colours. Strong challenge coming in from Iridakunda. Stokes with the full pirouette, but he couldn't bring the ball away, and it's the opposing number 10, that man who's got his first start for a little while today, Iannucci, looking out wide for Kadakpo. The big man starting out on the right flank again. Here's Peters, leading scorer for the Sharks this season, stepping up from the second tier of Victorian football, and what an impact he's made, the excitement machine. Emmanuel Peters, speaking of excitement machine, here's Courtney Perkins, twisting and turning, going to ground. No foul, but he does win the corner kick. Now, man in the middle today, Adam Bavkar, pointing across to the corner flag. He's accompanied by assistant referees Will Samsa, Vlatko Trojewski. The 4th official in front of us here is Noah Langerak. So it will be the number 11, Charlie Leach, going over to swing this one in. The breeze is, well, it's a southwesterly here today, so if it does favour either end, it will be the right of screen that Port Melbourne are attacking the northern end of JL Murphy Reserve. The short corner routine into the feet of Peters and come to that near post area. Gully got the numbers there, but can they clear it away? The pressure was coming from those Port Melbourne attackers. It was Andrew Messarouni in there. Apologies. That starting 11 for Port Melbourne is Andrew Messarouni, who has come in to the team, into the starting 11. Scored last week, and he comes in to replace Fraser Dunlop. So Dunlop not in the match day squad either this week. So Messarouni and Courtney Perkins, the inside left and inside right, just to quote the old football position terminology, supporting Emmanuel Peters, who does lead the line again today. Four goals for Peters so far this season. Clearance by the 21-year-old goalkeeper there. Here's Edwards. Gully will need to keep a close eye on him. Courtney Perkins down past the players' race, and he wins the second corner of the afternoon. Less than 3 minutes on the clock. Green Gully getting plenty of practice defending these set pieces, and my word, they got plenty of practice defending them too at Lakeside Stadium last weekend in their result that was a disappointing one against the league leaders South Melbourne. Going down 3-0. They had some chances to get themselves onto the scoreboard, but unable to. Another clean sheet for South. In comes the corner, aimed at Courtney Perkins. Gully had bodies there to block it, and again it's a struggle to clear it away, only as far as Leach. Flicked over the top by Nathan Hancock. Nathan Hancock, an interesting one, the 24-year-old defender from New South Wales, arriving via South Melbourne. Getting a chance in Nick Marinos' team. Playing in the middle of the back three, McCurr, and Alex Baker. Alex Baker, the boy from Ballarat. He's having a good season too. Here's Alex Baker. He's been around a few clubs. Oh, Regag's in a bit of trouble here. He's missed his header. This is Messarooney. Peters, little combination. Messarooney's in here, and good save by Driscoll. The follow-up by Stokes is more of a tame attempt. Stokes still looking for his first goal in NPL Victoria, the Irishman. Well, what a good save that was. Liam Driscoll was left exposed by his defence. And the man in all pink spread himself well to block that attempt from Messarooney, who was looking to pick up where he left off last week. He only came on late as a sub in the last 10 minutes or so, and still managed to take full advantage and put the ball away from close range. Following across from Emmanuel Peters. Those two, they must have a good understanding between each other, because I've seen them combining well a couple of times today and last week. Here's Kadakpo. The pressure was from Baker. Bit of an opportunity for Gully to attack down the left-hand side. This is Spiteri. Looks like there's a late inclusion into the starting 11. Wasn't listed on the team sheet originally, Justin Spiteri. Perhaps a late injury or issue with Dalibor Markovic has seen Spiteri get the opportunity. This is Crooks. Matthew Crooks playing in the position where we've seen Spiteri lining up the bulk of the season, and right back. Crooks has been working hard to recover from injury, and as we say, good to see him back playing football after a fairly lengthy layoff. The 25-year-old Englishman. Plenty of goals last night in NPL Victoria, with a couple of 5-goal thrillers. Heidelberg United made to work hard to get the 3 points against Malden City at Olympic Village, eventually getting over the line 3-2 after trailing 1-0 to the Cellar Dwellers at half-time. Convincing one for South Melbourne. 4-0 winners. They led that one at half-time by 3-0, so they got the runs on the board early. Last night, South Melbourne down at Frank Holohan reserve against Dandenong City. Ball over the top by Spiteri. And right footer playing at left back today, as you can see. Peters. He's got Messarooney making the run ahead of him, and here's Latsis, another player who got himself on the score sheet. The number 2, he's already got a couple of goals this season, looking to make it 3 today. A searching run forward. That was crafted by Latham. Kicks out to Veer. This is no Adam. McCurr just about kept that ball in play, but the flag goes up from the assistant referee, who's patrolling that area in front of Nick Marinos' technical area, which is just to our right here. Always good to be enjoying some top quality Victorian football in Melbourne's northwest, and refreshing to be at a daytime kickoff. 1 p.m, the lunchtime kickoff here at Keilor Downs. Almost feels a bit British, the lunchtime kickoff concept, but that's what Green Gully are going to be scheduling their home games for the remainder of the season, as far as we know it at the moment. Here's Spiteri getting the cross in. And if they can have a change of fortunes today, well, they might be quite happy to keep playing at this time. The 2 wins this season have come at this venue. They were so close to getting a win on the road a couple of weeks ago down at Dandenong City, conceding with virtually the last kick of the game. A real body blow that was. Here's their chance from the corner kick for the first time this afternoon. It's in by Iannucci. It's well away by Hancock at the front post. Iannucci kept it in. You could see the chalk on his boots as he reached for that ball. All the way back to Liam Driscoll, who's had a heavy workload so far this season. A long time since we've seen the Cavaliers manage to claim a clean sheet. You can see the tape on both of those knees, so really carrying a few niggles, as a lot of players are this season. And as we mentioned, Josh Hope is rested today, so a notable absentee from the starting 11 for Green Gully. This is Hancock. Finds Stokes. Calm and composed in the centre of the field. Good pressure from Crooks. And smacked forward by Driscoll, and it's just going to hang in the air. Should I say Mo Adam got there first. And here's Latsis. A little bit of space. Just elects to go for the slow and patient build-up, and then Stokes with the ball hoisted up into the sky, but straight to Jalil Regagan. Not a popular decision to play the ball in the air. If you listen to our effects mic with the audio coming from Nick Marinos's technical area. Here's Makur. Courtney Perkins, another player carrying a fair bit of strapping on the right knee. He's still motoring forward. Forward by Aaron Kunda, but again only as far as Makur. Came on as a sub last week and got nearly 90 minutes as well. Here's Peters. Comes inside. Little pocket of space for him. And the pass as well cut out by Matthew Crooks, and Latham sends the ball forward quickly. Gully playing a direct brand of football at the moment. Kadakpo got there first and kept that one in. Adam was in the middle, but he couldn't find him. Unusual to see the Cavaliers playing a counter-attacking brand of football. Normally it's the patient build-up that we expect to see from Stephen Downs' side, but the challenges this season have been many, including the lack of a recognised number 9 after the departure of Pierce Waring, and then Daniel Clark, who was to be lining up with the Cavaliers this season, and decided to pull the pin on his football career for the moment at least. Anyway, that's good play by Regay. Calm and composed, and a good ball down the line, who picks out Jamie Latham in a good pocket of space. This is more like the Cavaliers play that we know. Just trying to find those little combinations. That's a good ball from Tavia. Here's Spiteri floating into the back post area. Kadakpo all the way back out to Crooks. Recycling possession, the Cavaliers, and in fact turning it over because it's gone out of play. The substitutes for Stephen Downs' side today include Shifa Ahmed, Adisu Bayu, Alion Kifle, Reef Murfitt, and Abdul Rahman Kuku. Justin Spiteri was named, there's a speculator, but not too far away from Tavir, who's got a habit of scoring in this fixture. Looking to return the favour against his old team this afternoon. In fact, since joining Port Melbourne from Northcote City, faced the Cavaliers 4 times, scored in each of those games. An incredible record against the Cavaliers that, well, at least Green Gully won't have to worry about that from their point of view. Is Luca Devere haunting them anymore? But they love him to get his name amongst the goal scorers today. And here he is, Luca Devere. Latham, Ianacho, enjoying being back in the starting 11 today. Edwards dueling for it with Kadakpo. Iannucci gets there first in the green boots. Looking for a bit of width. He doesn't really have much, so he's going to truck back and go the other way. Latham. This is Spiteri. Regaig. Gully now. Well, they must have been sparked into action after we described them playing a counter-attacking brand of game. They've really kept a high possession percentage in the last few minutes. Here's Makur winning the ball back though. Sweeps the ball from under the feet of Spiteri. Here's Stokes, the Irishman. Shalamanov Trenkov sends it forward. Courtney Perkins just about won the header. Crooks picks up the second ball. Here's Adam. Not a good ball by Iridikunda. Peters switching the play. Good play by Stokes. Crosses the halfway line. Looking for options. Peters is there. And using all of his area there was Liam Driscoll. And he's had a good, confident start to this game so far. Spitteri's ball forward. Finds Tavir. Just floating inside from the touchline into that central corridor at the moment. Tavir. Here's Kadakpo, who has stayed wide, but he's also been caught in an offside position. Indirect free kick goes the way of the Sharks. Looking at those subs for Nick Marinos' side today. On the bench, Dane Milovanovic, Daniel Cutler, Christian Bombaci, who is the nominated captain for the season. Lucas Burns, the youngster who's made a good impact since coming across from Western United's NPL side. Chance here for Peters. Oh, we had a couple of options to the right there. Nassaruni and Latsis. Now the subs for the Sharks. Evan Marco Giannikis, the sub keeper. And the 19-year-old Atticus Gonzalez, who has scored 3 in 7 for the under-23s this season. He's come through the ranks at the Sharks through several junior age groups, and perhaps looking forward to seeing him get some minutes later on this afternoon. It's the ball forward for Latham, and again Makur. Makur is having an excellent game so far on the right-hand side of the Sharks' back three. Here's Tavir. We almost thought about pulling the trigger. Kadakpo looking to get around Edwards. Gets to the byline and plays it in for Adam, who blazed it over. Best moment of the game for Gully. Tavir's ball out wide for Kadakpo. Gets around his man and supplied a tasty cross for Adam. But in this lunchtime kickoff, Adam didn't get the first bite on that one over the crossbar. Port Melbourne breathe a sigh of relief. Well, a good contest this one so far in the first 16 minutes of play. Port Melbourne determined to play out from their own 6-yard box. Ball's played forward by Baker, and Courtney Perkins has got a bit of pressure from Iran Kundo, which he has no problem evading. Baker now. Edwards. This is Stokes. Well, the plays from both sides knocking the ball around in fine style on this pitch that is of absolutely exceptional quality. I don't know if you'll find a better playing surface right now anywhere in Victoria than this one. And it's certainly showing with the quality of football that we're seeing so far as Peters sprays that ball out nicely for Edwards, and here's Courtney Perkins. Well read by Taylor Shrivers and the Gully skipper across to shut down that opportunity. Does concede the throw, so well, in fact the corner kick is the call, and Stokes going over to take this one. Owen Stokes with the in-swinger. Made that one appearance for Leeds United in the League Cup some 7 years ago almost. This one comes in to the front post, and it was away by Regaig as far as Latsis. Here's Leach. He's got options out wide. In by Stokes to the back post area. Hancock had stayed forward. The big central defender was outpointed aerially by the West Aussie Liam Driscoll, who came across to pluck that one like he was fruit picking at an orchard in northern Victoria somewhere. Here's Spiteri. Good challenge there by Stokes. Peters. Messaruni is the target of the through ball. And again, it runs all the way through to Driscoll, who picks up and distributes it quickly. So good tempo to this one so far. Getting towards the 20-minute mark of this one. Mo Adam has probably had the best chance of the game, which he couldn't get on target. Messaruni also had a probably equally good chance as well that was really well saved by Liam Driscoll within the first 10 minutes of this encounter. Everyone behind the ball for the Sharks. Jalil Regay getting some feedback from Stephen Downs on his decision making. His first touch and then going back to the goalkeeper. Looking for something a little bit more proactive perhaps is Stephen Downs, who must be feeling a little bit of the pressure of these results. Fair to say at the moment. But from a Cavaliers point of view, it's good to see him playing their brand of football. Not really hitting the panic button here, despite only having 2 wins from their 9 outings so far this season. Play on is the call from referee Adam Babcock. Baker chips it forward. First time ball by Peters. Wasn't the right option there. Regay with the direct ball. Severe and Adam looked favoured to get it, but again, the long legs of Makur. Makur is cleaning up everything at the moment in that right central defender role of the defensive 3. So just a bit of a hush falls across the ground as Spiteri prepares to take this throw, and in it comes. Regay. It's the Shrivers. Bit of space for Tavir here. Adam is the target. Latsis read it well. Copped a bit of a bump to the shoulder. No free kick given. Although it's only academic, as it will be a goal kick for the Sharks anyway. Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkov. 195 centimetres tall, the 21-year-old. Shalamanov-Trenkov, 10 clean sheets in the second tier of Bulgarian football last term. Another clean sheet last week as well for the Sharks in that 3-0 win when Adam Pittick came back to face his old employer at JL Murphy Reserve. A big occasion. And the Sharks put in what was a really professional performance. Good preparation during the week lead up for that one, no doubt. And very organised again today, despite missing a couple of players from that team last week. There's no Fraser Dunlop. He did receive a bit of a gash to the head and was bandaged up before being subbed off early in that one. So we would assume that's the reason that he's not been risked today, and a smart decision to not take any chances with injuries to that part of the body. Here's Edwards. Got this assist last week, and he's got another one here for Peters. Oh, it's so easy in the end for the Sharks. Peters gets his 5th of the season, and it's 1-0 to Port Melbourne. Green Gully cut open. Port Melbourne taking full advantage of that. Emmanuel Peters on target from close range. He won't get a more simple finish than that either. It was put on a plate by Daniel Edwards. You have to wonder where the Green Gully defence was. So much space for both of those two players involved. And as it was last week for Port, Edwards assisting Peters on 36 minutes. Well, this time we've seen that on 23 here at Green Gully Reserve. So more misery piled on for the Cavaliers. They are having a season to forget so far. We talked about Green Gully's struggle for finding a genuine number 9. Well, we thought we might have found a rejuvenated Lucas Derrick as well. Was another player that we might have seen playing in that role and performing well before he had that shocking injury with a broken arm and dislocated elbow at Olympic Village around a month or so ago. I do hope his recovery's going well and we see him back out on the park this season. How Green Gully could use him. One of the challenges as well that we've seen with Green Gully is the situation where the transfer window is so far away until it opens that the season is virtually done and dusted by the time that they can dip into the transfer market and bring in a striker for the injury replacement. Here's Rooney. Oh, and it's straight at Driscoll, who's clocking up the saves this afternoon. But what separates these sides is that one that was fired past him from Emmanuel Peters, the cult hero of NPL Victoria. Lost his marker, fired home from close range a short time ago to prove the difference between these two sides so far. Midway through the first half, plenty of time for the Cavaliers to turn this around. They have had some bright moments, including that chance generated by Kadakpo that was fired over by Mo Adam. Latham, no foul there. Leach is going to bring the ball forward. Here's Rooney. He's going to try his luck from distance and parried away by Driscoll. Only as far as Courtney Perkins. Another save from Driscoll. Well, he's a goalkeeper who's getting plenty of practice at the moment. Here's Latzis bringing the ball down. The touch just got away from him, but he was able to chase it down and fire on goal. The shot was blocked. All hands to the pump here for Gully at the moment. This 1-0 deficit could go to 2 very quickly if they're not careful here. Iannucci gets the ball rolling forward for Iridakunda, and here's Tavir. How he would love to get himself on the score sheet in this one, Luca Tavir, against his old side. Speaking of players against the old sides as well, Jalil Regaig is another one who, well, we see him being quite threatening in the opposing team's penalty area, despite being a defender, but gets forward at those set pieces. And while at Port Melbourne last year, he was on the score sheet 4 times, which is a handy return for a midfielder, let alone a central defender. But he's yet to trouble the scoreboard attendance so far this season, Jalil Regaig. Oh, good little reverse pass in. That was a good idea. Latham was looking to get on the end of it. Just confirming if you're tuning in, the score is 1-0 to Port Melbourne. Emmanuel Peters, the scorer. Ball played in. It's away by Hancock. And it will be another corner kick. Be swung in by Iannucci. In comes the ball from Iannucci. It's away by Leach at the near posts. Crooks is going to get there first. And we do apologise for the error issue with the graphic on the screen that you're seeing at the moment that says Green Gully lead 1-0. We can confirm it is Port Melbourne that do lead this one 1-0. Emmanuel Peters, the scorer. So 1-0 to the Sharks is the scoreline here. As we approach 28 minutes in the first half. Good even contest for the most part, but the Sharks getting the better of it in the last 10 minutes or so and taking advantage, looking like taking a lead into the halftime break. Here's Latsis with the throw. The return pass from Leach was, well, it was all in close quarters there, and it was fired back. It was too high for Latsis to control that one. Here's Regag, as we mentioned, the former Shark in the white boots, sending the ball forward. Looking for Tavir, the other former Sharks teammate, and here's Luke Tavir squaring it up, and Edwards, good play from the wing-back, tucking inside to cover off, clear away the danger there. Be one of the first players picked on Nick Marinos' team sheet every week, I'd imagine, Daniel Edwards. High work rate. Another assist to his name this week. Featured in the NPL Victoria Team of the Week last week. For what was a fine performance against the Dandenong Thunder last Saturday evening. Good turn by Kadakpo. Oh, we give Edwards a wrap, and he's just been turned by his opposite number. Kadakpo trying to find a way to get the cross in. Iannucci in space. We've seen him score from these sorts of positions before. This is Crooks. Gully would love to get a reply before half-time. Kadakpo tries to get through two opponents. Still he goes. Will he pull the trigger? Oh, he's gone to ground. No penalties. The call from Adam Babkar. Goal kick will be the decision. Good run by Kadakpo. Saw a gap between two black shirts and seized the opportunity to skip through the middle. Eventually running into a brick wall. Nathan Hancock giving Kadakpo a pat on the back, a bit of an encouragement to keep going. No harm done. No malice in that. Messaruni, first time ball, gets the praise of his coach Nick Marinos. Courtney Perkins is keeping this one in play. Shrivers repels temporarily. Edwards again, he's the danger man. Courtney Perkins. It's a clever first touch, but just not enough space as that ball runs out of play. Down the slope. This pitch does slope from left to right. As you see, this one slopes towards the northern end of Green Gully Reserve. Definitely feels like a change being here in the daytime rather than the usual Friday night 8 p.m. kickoffs. But as we mentioned, this is the appointed kickoff time for the remaining games for the Cavaliers this season. And as we see at JL Murphy with the Port Melbourne games, the 23s will play immediately after this fixture. Plenty happening in the surrounding parts of the reserve as well. We saw the German Shepherd Club was in full swing as we were arriving for this match in the car park outside, and a few Inspector Rexes if you were getting led in to get the exercise for the afternoon. What a good show that was, by the way. The Cavaliers just trying to find a way back. They trail this one. Port Melbourne leading through that goal from Emmanuel Peters. That's a good ball by Shrivers. He picks out Spiteri, who was the late inclusion in the starting 11 for Dalibor Markovic. Over the top for Latham, making those good runs beyond the striker. Tavir getting plenty of the football at the moment. Luca Tavir, the former Shark. Forced to go back though. It's a good defensive shape by the Sharks. No way through. Crooks is picking up this ball on the far side in front of the beer garden area where you can see there's a bit of fake turf and umbrellas out there and bar tables and seating. A few fans enjoying that this afternoon. Not a bad place to be. To enjoy a coffee or maybe a little bit of the good old amber liquid for your Saturday afternoon. It's around 17 degrees is the top here, so all things considered, not bad. Late April weather. Certainly a tad warmer than the Friday night kickoff times that we see here, usually at Green Gully Reserve. Here's Stokes sending the ball forward for Edwards. It's a hefty switch of play, and it's asking a bit of Peters to keep this one in, but he's got the pace to do so, running at Spiteri. Edwards holds on to it. Leach. West Aussie just played it straight into the feet of Kunda. Iannucci, and Spiteri makes the clearance. Hancock was always favoured to win the header. Hancock definitely getting the better of that duel between he and Mo Adam at the moment. And Mo Adam, another player who's also made the switch between these two clubs today. Again, goes without saying he would like to get himself on the score sheet as well. Mo Adam has just the one goal since coming across to Green Gully Reserve in NPL Victoria this season. And here's Adam here, bit of space for him. Can he pull the trigger on the left peg? Well, he does, but it was never even threatening the near post of Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkov. Well, he hasn't really had a heap to do apart from give a bit of verbal encouragement and organise his defence and take some of these short goal kicks so far in this first half. So the second attempt by Adam that is off target in this first half. Referee Adam Bavkar gives Shalamanov-Trenkov the hurry up, and this time he does decide to play the long ball. Well won by Shrivers. Hancock intercepting. Went to Tavir, but he couldn't get it under control and find a teammate. Latsis and Tavir battling for it again. Tavir wins out this time. All the way back to Regag, all in front of him here. 5 minutes till, should I say 10 minutes till half time. Iannucci playing in that central midfield role today. He's a versatile player. We've seen him playing across the front three and also as an 8 in the heart of midfield, which is what he's doing today. And that clearance is a no-nonsense one. It's gone right up onto the roof of the pavilion there. Will it roll back down? If gravity can do its job, that would be handy and save someone getting one of those 6-metre ladders that you need to get up there. Kunda goes to ground. Ball stays in for Courtney Perkins. Masaruni giving chase, and Iran Kunda puts it out, and that ball does come down off the roof. A round of applause from some of the spectators here as that drop down. Good crowd in here today as well. We've got some, as we always see, with some children rolling down the grass embankment behind us here, which is a good way to spend the first half when the grass is dry, of course. So that one out of play, and another corner kick opportunity for the Sharks to try and double their lead. And the Irishman Stokes over to take this one. So we see a few of the under-23s are arriving for their match. That one will kick off at 3:30. Stokes to deliver this one into the 6-yard box. Driscoll catches. Good goalkeeping there from Driscoll, and he collided with Emmanuel Peters. No nonsense refereeing from Adam Bavkar allows the game to go on. Edwards was the deepest lying player there for the Sharks and did the defensive duties, the wingback. Just casually saunters back to his position. Here's Latsis. Good challenge for Spiteri. Here's the ball. Latham. Spiteri's got a bit of space now. He's got Kadakpo and Mo Adam in the middle. Oh, he's going to go his own way, Spiteri, but it just floated and an easy take in the end for the tall goalkeeper, Shalamanov-Trenkov. Brisbane-born keeper in the kit that is, well, resembling the Brisbane Raw colours. Arriving at J.L. Murphy this season via his stint in Bulgaria. Nessa Rooney, good skill by the young man. little tussle in the middle of the park here. Tavia. The pass by Regag was off target. Stokes. Iannucci. Well, he might have copped an elbow to the nose there. Adam Babcock thought about blowing the whistle. Pays the advantage instead. Good refereeing. Here's Latham. Pressure from Macker. Those long legs have been tough to get around. Oh, the back heel nutmeg, but Macker is able to recover and win the ball. Here's Leach. Oh, the forward line function wasn't quite what the Sharks were looking for there. Everyone came to the ball and no one went for the through ball. Here's Gidakpo receiving from Latham. Edge of the area. Floats it into the back post. Crooks is there. Nods it down. Unselfish. Could have potentially headed that one goal bound, but decided to nod it down for Tavir. Spiteri had his heels clipped there by Peters. And it will be a free kick to the Cavaliers in a handy position here for the tall timber to get forward. And we talked about Jalil Regag's scoring record from these sorts of situations while he was playing at the Sharks. Looking for his first goal in Cavaliers colours this afternoon, the big central defender. Certainly would put a smile on the face of Stephen Downs and the coaching staff if he's able to do so here with around 5 minutes to go until the half-time break. It's away by Edwards. Rooney flicked it on only as far as Iannucci. Here's Tavia. One way then the other. Iannucci, could he supply the cross here? Floats it in. Oh, Shrivers had stayed forward. Almost got in the end of that one. Crooks. Oh, well played. Irunkunda. Thierry Irunkunda anchoring the midfield again today, and well, plenty of work for him to do to keep up with those Sharks attackers. Rooney, Courtney Perkins in particular. Here's Gidakpo. He's been busy over that right-hand side. Crooks is tucked inside from his right-back position. He tries his luck from distance. Well, Shalamanov Trenkov has had a couple of saves to make now in this first half from Crooks and Spiteri, the two fullbacks for the Cavaliers, but neither of them have really challenged his abilities. Driscoll, a bit of footwork from him as he comes out of his area. This is Iannucci. Plenty of possession for Gully late in this first half, in this match that they trail. 1-0 deficit. Emmanuel Peters, who's pressing the ball here, is the goal scorer. Scoring from a Daniel Edwards cross on 23 minutes. Iannucci, a bit of space and time for him. Latham, Shrivers, Tavir, scanning the play behind him as that ball was rolling into him. Here's Spiteri, and again Macker, who has what I would describe as a good running cadence, even with the super long legs, and the long legs have been very handy so far this afternoon. There's a man with shorter legs making the clearance there, was Edwards. Here's Latham. Now Crooks. The Sharks look determined to bunker down and hold on to this lead going into the halftime break. Everyone behind the ball for the Sharks. Here's Shrivers. Crooks, who's tucked inside a couple of times now to make that extra man in midfield. Here's Gidakpo. Does pull the trigger this time. Good save, Shalamanov Trenkov. And Tavir does get his goal against his old team. He just can't stop scoring in this fixture, regardless of what shirt he wears. And Luca Tavir gets a vital goal for Green Gully to level things up at 1-1 in the 42nd minute. Green Gully 1, Port Melbourne 1. Luca Tavir, that's 5 consecutive times that he scored in this fixture. First 4 of them for the Sharks, and now this time for the Cavaliers. And a goal that they very, very badly needed. Gets them right back into this one at 1-1. In what's been an entertaining first half where Gully have worked very hard. I'd certainly argue that they deserve that scoreline with parity restored in the shadows of the halftime break at Green Gully Reserve. Now it really is game on with Cavaliers just getting a little bit of momentum going into the break here. And it's time for Certainly time for someone else to trouble the scoreboard attendant before the players do disappear up the players' race for the half-time interval. It's the second ball of the afternoon, cleared up onto the balcony. It bounces off and it goes over into that storage area where you can see that the Cavaliers clearly have an extensive junior program with all of those portable goals that are stacked over on that side of the clubroom area. That one is well and truly out of play for a goal kick as the wind looks to be picking up if you look at the corner flags at least. At the right of screen, but at the left of screen, the corner flag's not even a flutter. Iannucci. Cavaliers playing out from the back. Oh, well read by Edwards, who was fouled by Crooks, and Crooks is going to become the first player booked this afternoon for that cynical foul, pulling down Dan Edwards, the man who supplied the assist for the Sharks this afternoon. The free kick is in a handy position over there near the players' race, and the Irishman Stokes looks like he wants to go and take this one. Well, Edwards is interested too. Dan Edwards, who's got the hands on hips. He's been given the captain's armband as well this afternoon. Christian Bombaci on the substitutes bench. It is in by Stokes. Oh, good save again by Driscoll. I don't know if Hancock got a touch or not. It's still there for Peters. Tight angle. Good coverage by Spiteri. And it will be another set-piece opportunity, this time from the corner kick from the near side. And we've seen the Sharks with some well planned out set pieces, but it looks like Edwards is going over there by himself to swing this one in. Two hands to the sky. Would suggest he's looking for the back post, and that's where Hancock and Peters are lurking, as well as Macker. In by Edwards to the near post area though. Courtney Perkins was the target. Away by Shrivers. Plenty of distance on the clearance. Oh, well read by Latsis. Plays it in. Again away by Shrivers. Oh, good control by Latham. Bringing it down on the scone and then steering it away from trouble. Spiteri was pickpocketed there by Stokes. Ball runs out of play for a Cavaliers throw, and confirmation from fourth official Noel Langerak in front of us. There'll be 1 minute added on to the end of this first half that has been an entertaining one in this lunchtime kickoff from Green Gully Reserve. Emmanuel Peters and Luke Tavere, the goal scorers. The score locked at 1-1. The players battle it out for the final few seconds of this first half.
He's coming
free kick goes away with the Sharks, and that'll be just about all we'll see in this first half. Unless the Sharks can get this ball going forward quickly. Hancock is standing over it, looking a bit bemused at the lack of options ahead of him. Game that's been played in fairly good spirit so far. A little bit of aggro, all verbal after that decision, and that is the halftime break. And entertaining clash so far. It's been an even one for much of it. You might argue that the Sharks have certainly kept Liam Driscoll the busier of the two keepers, with Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkov only forced to make a couple of fairly academic saves. Manuel Peters opening the scoring with a easy finish in the end for him to get his 5th of the season on 23 minutes after a good ball came in from the left-hand side from Dan Edwards, the acting captain today. And it looked like it was going to be the Sharks potentially doubling their lead with a string of chances and some really good goalkeeping from Liam Driscoll, keeping the Cavaliers in the game. And then eventually the tables turning somewhat with Luca Tavere, the former Shark, coming back to haunt his former employer of the last couple of seasons in this fixture that he's been a consistent goal scorer in, getting his name on the score sheet to get his 4th of the season in his new colours for the Cavaliers. The top scorer for the Cavaliers this season, mind you, as well. In their search for a genuine striker, Luke Tavere has been proven a worthwhile signing, and it's his goal that sees the teams go into the break at halftime, cancelling out the earlier strike by Emmanuel Peters. We'll take a short break here for the halftime interval. from Green Gully Reserve. Steve Curtin here. We're looking forward to bringing you all the action of the second half of this Saturday lunchtime kickoff and what promises to be a really exciting 45 between these two sides. We'll be back after this short break. We're at halftime. It is Green Gully 1, Port Melbourne 1. Okay, this is your halftime sound check. It's halftime at Green Gully Reserve, and we will continue to do the sound check and try and get this audio sounding better, which I'm told it does. Thanks, Mateo. Yes. Welcome back to the second half in this NPL Victoria round 10 clash on this Saturday lunchtime kickoff. Currently, Green Gully 1, Port Melbourne 1. Manuel Peters, the excitement machine, opening the scoring. And then the goal being cancelled out by the man who can't stop scoring in this fixture. Luca Tavir scoring against his old employer in his new colours, making it 5 games in a row where he has scored in fixtures between Port Melbourne and Green Gully. All in readiness for the second half. The Cavaliers have Mo Adam about to take the first touch of the second half, and we are back underway for the second 45. Green Gully in their home kit, the white with the green vertical stripes, playing to the right of your screen. Looking a bit forlorn midway through that first half when they trailed. And, well, the Sharks are really threatening to double the lead on a couple of occasions. And then this man on the ball now, Luca Tavir, pouncing on a parry by Ilya Shalavanov-Trinkov after the ball had been fired in from the right by Ado Kadakpo, and that was the moment when the Cavaliers levelled things up on 42 minutes. No changes to either starting 11 in the halftime break. Peters moving the ball forward again. Did see Lucas Burns going through some fairly extensive warm-ups in the halftime break. We thought he might have seen him stepping out onto the pitch for the start of this second half. Might even have to see a unplanned change here. We saw that Nick Brunos was forced to make 2 changes for injury-related concerns last week in the win in the first half. And continued to make a 3rd change in the halftime break, and then made a double sub late in the game. The halftime sub not counting as a substitute window. So he was still able to make those 5 subs in total. So it does look like Emmanuel Peters is the man receiving the treatment at the moment. Helped back up onto his feet. Looked like he might have even received a couple of eye drops there from the trainer who came out to assist. And hopefully he will get the all clear to come back out onto the field of play in a moment, and he is back out on the paddock now. Port Melbourne back to 11. Here's Baker, combining with Stokes. Good pressing from the Gully side. Gully win the throw. Forward by Crooks. It was almost looking like it was going to run through to Jamie Latham for a moment, but the former Moreland City midfielder was never going to make that ball as it run through to Ilya Shalamanov-Trinkov. Just elects to throw to himself and then roost this one into the breeze, which isn't too strong here this afternoon. It will increase, I'd imagine, as the second half goes on, though. So, as you said, it is favouring that right-hand side of your picture at home, the northern end of Green Gully Reserve. Port Melbourne attacking the city end in this second half. Here's Courtney Perkins in a bit of space here. Oh, good challenge, Crooks. Courtney Perkins had been shown too much space, and Crooks was able to recover and save the blushes of the Cavaliers, who give that player of that quality, well, you just can't afford to give him that kind of space. Here's Mo Adam looking to get around Makur. Well played by Mo Adam. Tavia now. All the way back to Justin Spiteri, who was that late inclusion in the starting 11 to replace Dalibor Markovic, who was named in the team originally. Switch of play is by Regaig. Kadakpo looking to bring it down the chest, and it runs out of play on this near side. Good turn, Kadakpo. We've seen him try that move a couple of times on Daniel Edwards. He gets the ball in. Oh, it was almost there for Mo Adam too. Shalamanov-Trenkov looked to come, but he wasn't able to get there in time to claim. It was a dangerous ball coming across the front of the 6-yard box. Here's Latsis firing this ball forward to Peters, who's back up on his feet after what looked like maybe a poke to the eye. He's in no rush and just goes back to Stokes, and here's Edwards. Showed a little bit too much of that one, Tikadakpo, but backed his skill and got away with it. Hancock, and now Leach. Baker trying to direct traffic. Messarooney, good touch by him. Here's Leach. Oh, well read by Irankunda. Finds Latham. Ado Kadakpo getting some words of encouragement, or perhaps should I say motivation, from his coach Stephen Downs. Big challenge by Edwards, the acting captain, not taking a backward step. Here's Leach. Stokes. Oh, he's shown too much of that one. Oh, dwelt on the ball for too long. Mo Adam getting a foot in. Irankunda. This is a real midfield stash at the moment. We're going to see the first change of the afternoon. It's going to be by Stephen Downs. Looks like Adisu Bayu is going to get his chance. There's space for Messarooney. He could have brought that ball forward, but he decides to get it going quickly out in the front of Peters. Emmanuel Peters coming inside. He already has one this afternoon. He's going to try his luck for a second, but it's well blocked by a couple of Cavaliers who got in front of that attempt at goal. Driscoll intelligently fires that one out to Villa. Really feels like anyone's game at the moment. There's 7 points between them at the moment on the league table. 15 points for the Sharks and only 8 this season so far for the Cavaliers. Kadakpo comes inside. And it was the Sharks who started the season with a 0-0 draw at J.L. Murphy against St Albans. Eventually found their gear and kicked into action in their last 6 matches. 2 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses. Very much a transitional year for the Sharks with a new group of players. Oh, it's going to be in a bit of trouble here for Hancock, who pulled down Mo Adam. I fancy it's a yellow card. It's probably the right decision there. There was a bit of conjecture that the card could have been another colour, given that it was just about a deliberate foul, well, definitely deliberate foul, but by just about the last offender. And Nathan Hancock becomes the second player to go into Adam Bavkar's little black book this afternoon. And we're still awaiting that opportunity for the change to come through with Adisu Bayo. He's been waiting on the sidelines for a few minutes. He might need to go through another set of warm-ups. He's going to have to continue his wait here. Yanucci with the free kick. It's a good area. Drivers flew high. There's a free kick going the way of Port Melbourne. Potential head injury here too, it looks like. With a bit of contact on Nathan Hancock, the man who just been booked. We are going to see that first change of the afternoon now, and it is Ado Kadakpo, who, he may have just been heaping a bit of frustration on his coach by what we heard from Stephen Downs' technical area a short time ago. But it was Kadakpo who supplied that ball that was parried into the path of Luca Tavir that sees us locked at 1-1. So Kadakpo is off, and the change for the Sharks looks like it's going to be Mesa Rooney, who was on the score sheet last week, earned his start this week. He had one really good look at goal that was really well saved by Liam Driscoll. And Mesa Rooney makes way for Lucas Burns, who got 45 minutes last week, and he's going to get the best part of that time again this week as well. Lucas Burns, 15 appearances in the Western United NPL side last season for 2 goals. He's already picked up his first goal in Sharks colours, just the one so far this season. Forward by Driscoll, good header by Makur. Latsis battling for it with Tavir. And he ran into Justin Spiteri. Oh, it's a good touch around Makur, and, well, the yellow cards coming out with a flourish now. Makur goes into the book, so now we see those Port Melbourne defensive trio, the 3 centre-backs, 2 of them now on yellows. Both Nathan Hancock and Makur. If someone has to earn a professional foul now, it might have to be Alex Baker, the next one to take it. Not that we encourage any kind of the dark arts in football, but they do happen time to time in games like this where it is tense. Locked at 1-1 here this Saturday afternoon. Lunchtime kickoff in NPL Victoria round 10. Steve Curtin with you. We hope you are enjoying the broadcast from wherever you're tuning in as this ball comes in. Makur won the header, and then Dan Edwards, the acting captain, trying to repel. There's the fresh legs of Adisu Bayo, and Regaig with the shot, and a good save too, and held on to well by the tall goalkeeper Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkov. Well, almost lost that one through a sea of bodies, assuming that he may have been looking to parry. He elected to claim that one and held it well in 2 hands as he dived to his right. Good goalkeeping by the 21-year-old. Shrivers had come through like a steam train there, and Hancock, he might have been caught late, and he's down on the deck, Nathan Hancock. We might have to stop play here, you fancy. And we will. Good refereeing by Anabavkar as Cavaliers hadn't put the ball out of play, and he's in a bit of discomfort here as Nathan Hancock. Just try and catch that one again on our replay screen here to try and work out what it was. He went to ground awkwardly as he made that clearance. And the 24-year-old's back up on his feet, just stretching out the hip flexors at the moment as he wants to get himself back out into the thick of the action again. Nathan Hancock, the holes cut in the back of the socks for him, as we see so often these days. Port Melbourne looking to get themselves back into their attacking mindset. Ball in from Edwards, it hangs in the air. Oh, a little shove from Spiteri, no foul. Lucas Burns went to ground perhaps a little bit too easy. In the space for Iannucci. And here's Crooks. Bayou. He's come on to replace Kadakpo. Just a like for like with Bayou playing on the right-hand side of the front three. Disu Bayou back where we saw him playing some good football as a youngster before he went to have his opportunity in the A-League with Western United. Looking to show his wares today and getting a good allotment of time to try and do so. And he's hugging the touchline over here, as were the instructions by his coach when he came on. Can he keep this ball in? He gets there before the byline, Adisu Bayou, running at Baker. And Crooks is there and blocked away by Makur with the outstretched left knee. Shalamanov Trenkov may or may have not got to that one, but Makur with the decisive touch to deny the Cavaliers' right fullback. Would have been an unlikely goal scorer to change the trajectory of this one. Iannucci to deliver the corner kick. One false start. And in it comes now. The back post area. Regaig and Shrivers, he was off target. Well, he might have had his compass pointing in the wrong direction there. Taylor Shrivers, it was well won at the far post by Jalil Regaig, who, as we said earlier, is so dangerous at set piece situations, particularly last year when he was representing the Sharks, where he did score 4 times. Shalamanov Trenkov just under a little bit of pressure there, so he hoists that one forward. Here's Jackson Courtney Perkins. Oh, we got a bit of a shirt grab from Iran Kunda. Regaig puts his foot through that one. Well read by Hancock, who's just looking a little bit ginger after going to ground with that injury concern a moment ago. Well, the Cavaliers' technical area sounds the happier of the two at the moment with their pressing game that they're playing. Trying to draw the error out of the Sharks in the final third, which could be the decisive moment in this second half, as it's still locked at 1-1. Anyone's game at the moment. Cavaliers throw, taken quickly by Crooks. Iannucci, who is playing deeper and deeper in his midfield role now. Oh, he looks like he's playing as a 6. It's the Cavaliers who look like they have the momentum going their way, more so of the two clubs at the moment. That was an ambitious long ball. Aims for Adisu Bayou. Pretty handy player to be able to bring on Adisu Bayou. Tavir. Twisting and turning on that far side. Makur recovering and sending it forward. Oh, the Sharks not really getting out of their own half at the moment. Here's Regaig. Spiteri. You can really see the role that Adisu Bayou is playing. He's really trying to pin back the wing back Daniel Edwards. Adisu Bayou lurking out wide on the touchline and then trying to make runs in behind the defensive 3 and try and prevent Dan Edwards, that dangerous player from the Sharks down left-hand side, from getting into advanced positions. So good coaching from Steve Downs there. First touch for Liam Driscoll for a little while and goes straight to Baker, who wins the header easily, unopposed. And Crook sees this one over the touchline. Iran Kunda under pressure from Peters. Puts it out of play. It's a good header by Makur. Leach. Good dribbling skills on show again from Charlie Leach. Hancock's ball forward. Again, well read by Regaig, who's seemed to have got better as this game's gone on, Jalil Regaig. Touch for Bayou. This game just sits on a knife's edge at the moment. inside the last 30 minutes. Certainly a lot riding on this one. Peters is flagged for offside. Ball forward for Bayou or potentially Mo Adam from Iannucci. Forward by Maker. It's a touch from Burns and now Leach. Space of Burns to face forward here and play the ball in. It fell to Shrivers and not taking any chances. Clears that one up onto the hill to our left, where a certain Esteban Quintas is sitting, taking in this one. Of course, a big fixture next week at J.L. Murphy, South Melbourne, against the closest, nearest neighbours, South Melbourne. That's next Saturday at 5 o'clock. South Melbourne, well, they're the team to beat at the moment, well and truly setting the pace in this competition. Some good football on show from both of these teams today, who are having mixed seasons, particularly if you look at the fortunes of Green Gully. Here's the chance for the Cavaliers to come forward. Keep it's the call from the assistant coach, Steve Laurie. Here's Peters. Good ricochet for him, and Burns is in a bit of space on the right-hand side. Plays it across. Oh, off the line almost by Shrivers. Man, lucky for the Cavaliers, there was no one there to get on the end of that cross from Lucas Burns into a dangerous area. Now, the talk from the Sharks technical area is that they need to increase their pressing and get a bit higher up the field, particularly those central midfielders like Owen Stokes. You can hear them there through our effects mic, instructing their players just to move up the field in these sort of situations and box Green Gully in so that they can't get forward. But Gully have got through the press here. Tavir's ball over the top for Adam. Baker is there to make the clearance, albeit somewhat agricultural. It only goes as far as Edisu Bayou. He's going to throw some step overs at Dan Edwards. Plays it in. Latham was there. And again, well read by Latsis, and the right wing back puts it out. It's just on the left-hand side of that corner flag for a throw rather than a corner kick. Spiteri across to take the throw. Other options remaining on the bench still for Gully include Shifa Ahmed, Alion Kifle, Abdul Rahman Kuku. And for Nick Marinos, a couple of defenders on the bench still. Dane Milovanovic, Christian Bombaci, and the youngster Atticus Gonzalez, 19 years of age, another option there. Iannucci switching the play. Here's Crooks. He's got Bayou down the line. Bayou one way, then the other. Trying to lead Edwards a merry dance. Gets to the byline and floats it in. Hancock on the chest. Doesn't really clear the danger though. Latham. Now Leach. Up towards Peters. Shriver's got a foot in. Well played by the big New Zealander. The sun breaks through the clouds here in Melbourne's northwest. This excellent playing surface is a picture. This match has been a cracker of a contest as well. Locked at 1-1 still. You can be the hero that conjures up the decisive moment that can separate these two sides and secure the 3 points. Well, only time will tell over the next 20 minutes or so. Stokes. Shalamanov-Trinkov put his foot through that one. Sun in the eyes of the players. Allowed to bounce. Regage picks up the loose ball well. Spiteri, well in by Mark Latsis. Here's Lucas Burns. Plays it forward for Peters, who's still full of running. Emmanuel Peters, he's got Courtney Perkins in the middle. He goes to ground and wins the penalty, does Emmanuel Peters. Well, Green Gully looked like they were in full control. Emmanuel Peters raiding forward, went to ground under contact. We'll catch that one on our replay screens again. And referee Adam Bavkar thought about the situation for a moment and pointed to the spot to give the Sharks a chance to grab that decisive goal. Well, it looks like the trailing leg from Taylor Shrivers as he went to ground. Clipped Emmanuel Peters, who went to ground. Well, there's a bit of conjecture as to whether the Sharks were making a sub or not. The Sharks coaching staff have informed that they're certainly not making a sub at this point in time. They want to focus on the opportunity that now sits in front of their number 14, Jackson Courtney Perkins. He already has one goal from his 8 appearances so far this season. A second here could be the decisive moment that separates these two sides and takes the 3 points back to JL Murphy. A long pause as we wait for this one. Ken Driscoll will be the hero here. He's made some good saves already today. But Courtney Perkins has the opportunity to put the Sharks back in the lead, and he does just that. A well-taken penalty. Calm and composed from the spot. And he sent Driscoll the wrong way. Just placed it to that bottom right-hand corner. Now we are back to that single goal lead for the Sharks, as we saw for much of that first half. That's all to do for the Cavaliers now. And I think with that we might see a change, because Nathan Hancock, who's toiled out there this afternoon with a couple of injury concerns, has finally succumbed to one, if not both of those, or a combination of both of those, as the physio's out to offer a bit of treatment. Still looking pretty proppy, so be a good chance for Christian Bombaci to step into that defensive 3 and steer his side to another 3 points for what would be the second week in a row. Here's Bayou. Pressure from Courtney Perkins. It goes out of play for a throw. Crook's not taking any nonsense. He's already on a yellow card as well, Matt Crook, so he has to be a little bit careful not to instigate any moments of aggression out there. This one falls for Lucas Burns. Charging forward down the right-hand side. Could he find a sealer here? Perhaps Shriver stuck a leg out. That could have gone anywhere, but it goes over the bar and out for a corner kick. Oh, Lucas Burns, the space opened up for him there. He's motoring forward. Well, Hancock is going to head back out into the fray. So Christian Bombaci is kept waiting on the sidelines. Edwards over to take the corner kick over in the famous shipping container district here. Green Gully Reserve over on the bistro side of the ground. Edwards with the set piece. Oh, his player's falling on the ground. Ball aimed right into the goal mouth. Driscoll did well to deal with that one. In by Stokes. And it bounced awkwardly for Iannucci, and the appeals were for a handball, but the Sharks not awarded a second penalty in the space of the last 5 minutes. Oh, that's well played by Burns. Gets to the byline. Oh, and again away by Shrivers. Away by Iannucci. That penalty being converted by Jackson Courtney-Perkins really has swung the momentum here. Scoreboard pressure generated perhaps, and the Cavaliers were looking good up to that point in time. Certainly looks more like Port Melbourne to be the team that would be likely to score the next goal in this one as it stands at the moment. Crooks showed too much of that one to Dan Edwards. As we reach for our sunglasses, as the bright sunshine does come out across the pitch, and it will be now that chance for Christian Bombarci to enter the fray, but it won't be Nathan Hancock coming off. It's going to be Mark Latsis, one of the players who got himself on the score sheet last week, but he's putting a good shift again today. Dan Edwards transfers the captain's armband to the left bicep of Christian Bombarci, who's going to show that versatility that he has. He's capable of playing in that back three, but also as a wing back, where it looks like he's gone to now, unless it will be a switch to a back four. We'll keep an eye on that. Here's the sub, Bombarci. Pass was asking a bit too much of the substitute from Burns. So a lot of work here for Gully to do. They trail this one 2-1 on home turf here on your Saturday lunchtime kickoff in NPL Victoria, round 10. Shrivers. Tavir. It was his goal that got the Cavaliers back into this one in the 42nd minute. Pouncing on a parry from Shalamanov-Trenkov. Oh, Odisubai has gone down to ground. Oh, it didn't look too good. No contact made. He hasn't been out there for that long. Just collapsing to the ground under his own weight. He's back up on his feet though. Looks like Shifa Ahmed's going to be ready now as he's gone off and kicked the fence in frustration. That really is wretched luck for Adisu Bayu, who's shown that he's such a top talent. But just trying to find full fitness and getting those match minutes consistently, remaining injury-free. It's proving a bit of a battle, and disappointing when you see young players going through patches like that. As the Cavaliers do prepare to make that sub to replace Adisu Bayu with the youngster Shifa Ahmed. Still only 17 years of age, Shifa Ahmed, in the number 11 today. Six goals from 8 games in the under-23s this season for Shifa Ahmed. The diminutive attacker, he's going to just line up on the right-hand side of that front three. The third player to play in that position for the Cavaliers so far this afternoon. Adam tries to get the cross in. It's well blocked by Baker, and the corner kick will go the way of the Cavaliers. So perhaps a chance for the big boys to try and trouble the Sharks in the penalty area here. Shrivers getting forward, Regaig as well. And also the mosquito fleet of Matty Crooks as well, and Jamie Latham in there too. It's in by Iannucci. It's a decent ball in. In the end, it's a free header for the Sharks to clear it away. Here's Burns. Edwards. Oh, he was caught late there. Play on's the call though. Here's Peters. Gets to this ball before Justin Spiteri. And the counter-attack's on here. Bombaci. He's got options left and right. Oh, he just whacks it into his teammate's shoulder. Not what the doctor ordered. Here's Tavia. Pressure from Courtney Perkins, who commits the foul, and he's the latest player to go into Adam Bavkar's little black book there, receiving the yellow card. Another chance from the set piece for the Cavaliers. Just under 10 minutes to go in regular time. There will be a couple of minutes added on for substitutions and injuries in this second half. Shalamanov Trenkova, he was clattered into there, and he gets the free kick. Came out to claim, got his hands on it, and just a little bit of contact on the goalkeeper that is not within the laws of the game, so pressure valve is released for the Sharks there. Plenty of action still to come across the weekend in NPL Victoria. So we mentioned on the winners list last night, Heidelberg United, South Melbourne and the Oakley Cannons. Coming up straight after this match this afternoon, out at Petty's Reserve in Templestowe on the synthetic pitch, Manningham United Blues hosting a high-flying Hume City side. And then at 6:15, a western suburb derby between Altona Magic and the Melbourne Knights at Paisley Park, followed by, should I say, overlapping, I suppose, 7 o'clock out at George Andrews in Dandenong. It's the Dandenong Thunder hosting Avondale, who look to be, well, back to their best. Good result for them last week against the Oakley Cannons at Jack Edwards Reserve, a venue that it's been hard for them to get results at in the past. No problems last week getting a really convincing win over one of their rivals this season. Season 2024. It's been a good one so far. Plenty more action to come in the remaining 16 rounds that remain after this one. Ball forward for Shifa Ahmed, brought down well by the youngster. Fires it and just wide of the near post as well. Well, good play by the 17-year-old, a prolific scorer in the 23s. Port Melbourne, who looked pretty solid with this single goal lead. Could have been undone there by the youngster. Just sneaking under the radar. Port Melbourne in no hurry to resume play here. They do eventually send it forward through Shalamov Trenkov. Burns looking for the free kick. No whistle from Adam Bavkar. Flicked forward by Iannucci, and Mo Adam picks up the loose ball after Baker missed his header. Iannucci. They're lining up around the edge of the area here, the Cavaliers. Regag, the central defender, getting forward. Regag directing traffic. Severe has that solitary goal for the Cavaliers this afternoon. Shifa Ahmed's touch. Niran Kunda. Ahmed again. Crooksy might have been collected there, but play on is the call. Leach. Gully getting a little bit more of a foothold here as they try and get themselves back into this one. Look for that goal to make it 2-2. Iannucci That was well read by Leach on the tackle and flipped forward by Edwards. Blocked by Aaron Kunda. Hancock, who's had his injury battles this afternoon, but he's still out there. I really hope you're enjoying this one. Wherever you're tuning in, Steve Curtin with the call on the NPL Victoria live stream. Port Melbourne leading this one 2-1. Jackson Courtney Perkins with the decisive spot kick in the second half that gave them the lead after Emmanuel Peters was fouled by Taylor Shrivers at a moment when Gully had some momentum leading into that point in time. And they're trying to find some momentum here again. They're getting plenty of the ball. Not quite knocking on the door at the moment. Plenty of black shirts getting back to plug those gaps in the defensive areas for the Sharks. Here's Latham. Iannucci. Everyone behind the ball again for the Sharks here. Good turn by Iannucci. Closed down by Makur. He'd stepped out of the defensive line to apply the pressure, and he's done well there. And again, repelling the danger. Only as far as Regaig. A little bit too far out to pull the trigger from there. Here's Tavir, who will try his luck from distance. Headed behind by Hancock, and it will be a corner for the Cavaliers. So into the last 5 minutes, not long to go here. Big hello to Joel, who's enjoying this one from East Geelong this afternoon. A few people are at home are enjoying seeing this venue on the live stream in the daylight for the first time since, well, what we believe is 2019. Will be the change about to take place for the Sharks, but they're going to have to wait a moment. Now the change will go through, and it is the tall figure of Dane Milivanovic. He's just put about a litre of water through his hair to slick it back, and he's out there directing the traffic straight away. Here's Milivanovic. It's in by Iannucci. Oh, it's too high for even Taylor Shrivers, who comes up a bit proppy after that aerial duel and hobbles away. Well, that really is a waste of a set-piece opportunity for the Cavaliers. Shifa Ahmed sent on ball boy duties over there in front of photographer Mark Avellino, who's taking some of the best snaps of this one. And it's going to be a yellow card shown there as well to a player who's been substituted, which does appear to be the Irishman, Owen Stokes. As the chat continues between Adam Babkar and his assistant referee over there, Jamie Latham having a bit to say as well. It did appear that Stokes was shown the yellow card. Well, everyone had set up for a goal, so interesting scenes here. Everyone had set up for a goal kick. It's going to be a corner kick for Green Gully. Iannucci over to take, so bit of a mental wrestle here for the Sharks, who remain with that 1-goal lead. We're preparing to take a goal kick, for now preparing to defend this set-piece opportunity. So still the chat goes on. Adam Babkar having to put out some spot fires with some of the non-playing staff.
Hey, Fourth, why don't you go and help your mate out and fucking drag the others away from him?
What's being said out there by a lot of the non-playing staff, as we mentioned, but what matters is what happens out on the paddock here in the middle. Sharks haven't got too long to hold on. Iannucci, it's all about the quality of this corner kick. Everyone back in defence for the Sharks. Just get it away from the keeper. Oh, it's a decent one too. Shrivers won the header well against pressure from his Sharks opponents, but he couldn't direct it on target to challenge Ilya Shalamanov-Trinkov. And the chances look to be evaporating now for the Sharks, or should I say the Cavaliers. The Sharks looking good to hold on here. Now we're hearing that there could be as much as 6 minutes added on. And a shout out to Ollie Driscoll tuning in from Perth, who's observed something that we were not able to see from our broadcast position here. The substitute, Owen Stokes, who's walking off the field, holding the flag in the corner, which was why we saw the decision overturned between the goal kick change to a corner kick. And there's the change now. Justin Spiteri off. Last roll of the dice here as we see a chance for Abdul Rahman Kuku. Mo Adam looking to combine with Shifa Ahmed, but they put it out of play, and it's going to be a Sharks throw. As we just about tick over the 90 minutes here at Green Gully. All the play currently at the right of your picture is the Sharks holding tight to this single goal lead that they have. Not long to go in this one. 90 minutes have ticked over, but we will have six minutes of stoppages. Which will take us around to about 2:46 p.m. local time. With a perfect lead-in for that next fixture on the live streams. NPL Victoria live stream, Manningham United and Hume City, kicking off at 3 o'clock. Here's Milovanovic sending it forward for Courtney Perkins. He's already got himself on the score sheet today with his second of the season. This is Peters. Now Edwards. Keep ball here from the Sharks. Baker now. They're almost there. Oh, just needlessly conceding possession there. Aaron Kunda picks it up. Tavir's ball forward. Kuku was the target. Well read by Baker. Kuku was offside as well. Looks like play might be allowed to continue though. Latham. Play will continue. Regag in space in the bright sunshine of Green Gully Reserve. Here's Tavir. Looking to get around Milovanovic. Won't get past Hancock. Strong header. He's been solid in the heart of that defensive three this afternoon for Nick Marinos' side. And Nick Marinos is having a fair bit to say at the moment. Courtney Perkins is loping forward. Manuel Peters tries his luck from distance, and what a good save by Driscoll. Well, I thought Peters might have tried to dribble that ball in a little bit closer, but he just tried his luck from all of about 22 yards. Driscoll at full stretch parried it away. And Liam Driscoll's made a number of fine saves this afternoon. Shifa Ahmed, the youngster, finds Iannucci, who switches it out to Regag. Looking forward into the sunshine. Space for Iannucci. He's got Crooks out wide on the right-hand side. There's Latham. Everyone behind the ball except for Emmanuel Peters. Milovanovic, who's someone we're more likely to see playing in the back three, has been brought on as a bit of defensive stability as an extra pair of legs in the midfield. Aaron Kunda with the vital interception as Jackson Courtney Perkins was chasing after that one. Courtney Perkins has pulled up quite proper himself after that one. Looking to try and run the game out. Not long to go. Bombarci copped one in the back there from his fellow number 15, Jalil Regag, who'd stepped forward to try and get something going for the Sharks. So I say the Cavaliers, as we see the under-23 players from the Cavaliers coming out of the dressing room. They're ready to start their warm-ups for their 3:30 kickoff, and the Cavaliers under-23 side are setting the pace in the competition so far in the NPL Victoria under-23s. They'll go in favourites this afternoon in the clash, and at the moment though it's Port Melbourne looking like getting second consecutive win of the season, or second consecutive win to make it a very good fortnight for them after a great result against their old coach Adam Piddick last week when they faced the Dandenong Thunder. It's the ball in for Kuku, couldn't find him though. There's Peters, bit of space for him. Still likes to look for Dan Edwards. Less than 3 minutes to go now About 2 minutes by me. Driscoll's going to lump this one forward. Cavaliers have got a winner header here, but it's well run by Makur, who's been really good today for the Sharks. Here's Crooks. Good ball for Shifa Ahmed, who's onside here, and he floats the cross in. It was deflected, and it goes out of play for a corner kick before Ilya Shalamanov-Trinkov could wrap his gloves around that one. So this could be the last roll of the dice here for the Cavaliers. They've had some good moments in this one. What matters most is at the moment that they trail. And they're staring down the barrel of a 6th defeat of the season. And Liam Driscoll, the keeper, is coming forward. Could we see the West Aussie get on the end of this one? That well and truly would be peak NPL if we were to see a goalkeeper goal this afternoon. So the free kick is from the right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Latham standing over it, directing traffic. This will be the last roll of the dice. Floated in towards the back post. Driscoll is there! Cuckoo! And Latham. The Sharks are going to get this one away, though. The goal's open if they can send it forward. Here's Leach. Crooks. Oh, and that's just about it. And Adam Babkar's seen enough. The Sharks do get their second win in as many weeks. A hard-fought one. It wasn't not an easy task this afternoon against a gallant Green Gully side who go down this time by the solitary goal. 2-1, a result that many would have predicted the Sharks coming and getting the 3 points this afternoon, but it was a lot closer than a lot of people might have forecast. Green Gully giving a really good account of themselves. It was Emmanuel Peters opening the scoring on 23 minutes for the Sharks with his 5th of the season. What a fine season he is having. He's becoming a real cult classic of NPL Victoria, stepping up from the second tier. That ball played into him from Dan Edwards to open the scoring, and it looked like they were going to double their lead when they had some really good opportunities that were saved by Liam Driscoll in that first half. And then 3 minutes before the break was Ado Kadakpo blasting the ball into the box, saved by Ilya Shalamanov-Trinkov, but fired home by none other than the former Port Melbourne player Luca Tavir, who scored his for the 5th consecutive time in this fixture. The first 4 of those were in the colours of the red and blue. Today, scoring against his old employer at 1-1. An exciting contest ensued. Green Gully having some good moments before it was that man again, Emmanuel Peters, going on a searching run forward, and he was clipped by Taylor Shrivers. Penalty kick going the way of the Sharks, and converted well by Jackson Courtney Perkins for his 2nd of the season. That proved to be the difference between these two sides as the Cavaliers huffed and puffed. They tried to get themselves a goal that could see them get a share of the points at least, but in the end it was a 6th loss of the season from 10 outings for the Cavaliers, while the Port Melbourne Sharks enjoyed their 5th win of the league season. They will be heading inside to belt out a rendition of Sharkies on Fire as the players gather for the post-match team talks in the bright sunshine at the end of this lunchtime kickoff. A quick look forward for these sides coming up, and it's a tricky assignment next week at Avenger Park for Green Gully. They will then play a cup match in the midweek where they'll take on Ballarat City here at Green Gully Reserve. Following matches, a derby against the boys from down the road, the coachless St Albans Saints. That will be back here as well. And then a all Western Suburbs clash in Friday night football in round 13 at Knights Stadium. And for Port Melbourne, as we mentioned, Esteban Quintas, an interesting onlooker here because the Sharks do face South Melbourne next Saturday at 5 o'clock. No cup action for them after being knocked out by the Oakley Cannons. They will be at home again the following week to Dandenong City before they go on the road, making the short trip up to Brunswick to face Avondale at Avenger Park. Or Parkville, should I say, to be technically correct. That is full time here, though, at the end. We hope you've enjoyed this one. I've certainly enjoyed it. An engrossing contest between two sides who fought to the death this afternoon. But at the full-time whistle, it was Port Melbourne coming up trumps. I've been Steve Curtin, Matteo behind the camera for Sportscast Australia. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you for the first time this season. Looking forward to doing it many more times before the end of season 2024. But at the end of this one, it's a good afternoon from Green Gully Reserve, where it is Green Gully 1, Port Melbourne 2. Good afternoon.